hell yeah, I will be continuing this. Blake, we love him. Blake Chicaro. I was probably ovulating. He didn't stick out to me. I hated the MMC. Heavy on the hate. Capital H. I can yap. Okay, I can flap my gums. One thing about me, I'm an MM enthusiast. I'm here for the boys. You know what I mean? Kiss. And am I gonna read the next book? Yeah! He referred to his as his Sword of Thunder. Wrap it up. You're done. Besties! Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Laurin. I'm a lover of all things books, home, and beauty. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the series that I am currently in the middle of, and if I will be continuing them, if I will not be continuing them, and why that is. A lot of these series are unfinished, so really that's the main reason, but then a lot of them have reasons for not wanting to continue. I counted. I'm probably missing a few because sometimes Goodreads, like if you change the dates red, they put your books in there really weird. So I don't even know. Goodreads is crazy sometimes, but per my calculations, I'm probably missing a few. I have 15 unfinished series that I'm in the middle of, and I have 12 finished series that I'm in the middle of. So that's almost like 30 series that I literally am currently reading. And when I say currently, I'm not currently reading 30 books, but one thing about me, all of my besties clock it. Clock it. You guys clock that I love a series. I love a commitment. Like, one thing about me is I'm not scared of commitment, okay? I'm also a Taurus, so I feel like my Taurus girlies know. Like, we're committed, we're in it. In their like swimwear. Like, we are going to ride it till the wheels fall off. And that's what she said. But the point is, I love a thick book. I love a series. I love a continuation. I love an intertwined series about multiple characters in a friend group. Love, love, love a series. I love when there's more. I need to get better at standalones. You guys know this. You guys clock me all the freaking time. Because if there's one thing about me, I'm going to recommend a series to somebody. Okay? But I feel like we've all been there where it's like we start a series and we might be into it and obsessed, and then we just don't finish it because we're lazy. I'm looking at myself. Or just because like it didn't grab your attention and you're not super excited to get to the next book. So we have several of those. We do have series that like they're gonna be duh. Like, we're gonna talk about Onyx Storm, the Empyrean series. We're gonna talk about Boys of Tommen. Like, you guys will be like, yes, I've heard that. But there's a lot of series that I actually haven't talked about on my YouTube channel. And I was just writing them all down for this video because I wanted to stay organized. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that series. So this is a really good idea for a video for me, honestly, to keep me on track so that I can remember the series that I start. Because you guys know, as a mood reader, sometimes you'll be starting stuff and you won't even remember why you started it, and half of the time it's Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you know that it freaking gets you. That is what this video is gonna be about. As always, I am gonna yap, I am ADHD, and I'm just gonna but I'm gonna try my best to stay organized. And if I'm looking at my phone, that is why, because I have all of them on here. So if you guys wanna hear about all of the series that I'm in the middle of, 27 to be exact, keep on watching. So guys, look how freaking cute my little straw stopper is. He's a little Frankenstein. I love him. I love him. Also, it's a rainy day. Oh my God, I can never get him off. He's doing his job a little too well. Mr. Frankenstein. We have to hydrate because baby, when I yap, and one thing about me, I can yap, okay? I can flap my gums. I'm talking to my besties. I'll really stay talking about anything. So we have to hydrate. I wanted to drink an Alani Nu, but I was like, you know what? I need to stick with water because I never drink any water. So we're not having an Alani today. I'm very sad. It is what it is. Okay, the first series, these are not in order, by the way. I'm literally just gonna like randomly like call them out. So the first series is the Wicked Games series by Kaylie Smith. So the first book in the series, I'll probably just put the first book of each series like in here so it'll be easier, is Phantasma by Kaylie Smith. I read Phantasma, I wanna say last Christmas, because I was like, oh my God, I need to read this around Halloween, and I did, and I read it around Christmas. I liked it, but I'm really excited to read Enchantra. It is on my fall TBR. Am I working through my fall TBR? Yes. If you guys have been watching The Days of My Life, and there will be a new episode coming probably after this video, you see I've been reading through my fall TBR. So yes, I do plan on continuing the series. I wasn't obsessed with Phantasma, but I didn't really dislike it or anything. The man was blonde. And I hear there's a Shadow Daddy in this next one, and I also love Genevieve, the sister from Phantasma book 1. So Enchantra is the next book that is out. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm staring at it right now on my shelf. But yes, I will be continuing the Wicked Game series by Miss Kaylie Smith. Yes, ma'am. So I'm gonna read you guys like what each book is about. Welcome to Phantasma. There are only 2 rules to the game. Stay alive and don't fall in love. Ugh. This is book 1, by the way. When Ophelia's sister disappears, there is only one way to save her. Ophelia must enter Phantasma, a deadly contest inside a haunted mansion, and claim its prize, a single wish. Phantasma is a maze of twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms. Ophelia will face 9 challenges, each more dangerous than the last. There can only be one winner, and the other contestants will stop at nothing to eliminate their rivals. Every day, the house creates new monsters. And I'm not going to go into the rest of it because that's basically all you guys need to know. She's going to save her sissy. Yeah. Her sister, who's very different than her. Ophelia is very older daughter. She has OCD. There's an OCD rep in this. At least I think it's an OCD rep. I really, really loved that part of it. I loved Ophelia. I just feel like it was super, super heavy romance. But I will be continuing it. And that is why Enchantress on my fall TBR, because I found out the second book was about the sister. And I need to read it around the month of October, this month. So I will be reading that and continuing it, and I'm very excited. And like I said, I enjoyed Phantasma. That's pretty much like the rundown of what the first book is about. She's going to save her sister, and she's entering this competition, and the visuals that Kaylie Smith creates are stunning. It's also set in New Orleans, even though it's in like basically this haunted mansion. I really, really liked it. I just was not jumping to finish the next book because again, it wasn't around Halloween. So now it's around Halloween and we're reading Enchantra. So I'm excited. So yes, we will be continuing the Wicked Game series by Miss Kaylie Smith. The next series is The Boys of Tommen by Chloe Walsh. Yeah. You guys already freaking know. You already know. You already know if you watch any video on my channel, I talk about The Boys of Tommen in almost like every single one of my videos. I literally cannot help it. It is like one of my god tier series. It literally saved my mental health on so many levels. I am very, very obsessed with The Boys of Tommen series. Releasing 10 left a hole in my heart and it has not been the same since. I am so freaking obsessed. How would I begin to explain The Boys of Tommen? It is a group of interconnected friends and family with devastatingly important but traumatizing topics that are discussed. It follows them through their adolescence into early adulthood, and it literally will wreck you on every single level, but it is one of my most favorite series that I've ever read. Like, I'm literally obsessed with The Boys of Tommen. It is at its core a romance, I guess you could say, but there's also found family. It follows self-harm, it follows addiction, it follows domestic violence, it follows SA, it follows a lot of heavy topics. And whenever people are like, I want to read something that will consume me, just read The Boys of Tommen. Just take my word for it. If you want your heart ripped out, but then also fixed and put back together again, read The Boys of Tommen. Read The Boys of Tommen. I am so attached to all of the characters in Boys of Tommen. It's a very character-driven series, and oh my god. Yeah, I will be continuing. You guys know. You guys know. If you know me, you know. And if you didn't know, now you know. But yes, I will be continuing The Boys of Tommen. I cannot freaking wait for the next Lizzie and Huey book because releasing 10 did a freaking number on me. Like, Releasing 10 is the saddest book I've ever freaking read, and I just read Alchemized, so that's saying something. I think that Releasing 10 was more sad than Alchemized was in completely different ways. But yeah, it's probably the saddest book I've ever read. My favorite from Boys of Tommen is still Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 because Joey is my man, and I'm obsessed with him, and I will be obsessed with Joey and Aoife forever and ever, amen. But I'm so obsessed with the entire series as a whole. So yes, I will be continuing it, and I'm cutting myself off because we have more series to cover, and you know this could turn into a Boys of Tommen session. Okay. Following that theme with series I'm obsessed with, we have the Empyrean series. The first book of that is going to be Fourth Wing. This follows our FMC Violet Sorengale. Violet is our chronic illness girly. Her mom is the general of Basgiath War College, which is a dragon rider college. And you have scribes and you have dragon riders. And I'm sure you guys know, this is not new information. Fourth Wing, you know, the girlies know, the girlies know. But she, her whole life has wanted to be a scribe. Her mom is like, no baby, you're gonna be a rider. She's like, okay, chronic illness girly, like my bones break easily. I'm not built for this. And she gets thrown into she gets thrown into the rider's quadrant and some things happen. It's very typical enemies to lovers. It's romantasy and it is everything. And Xaden is literally at the top of my book boyfriends list. He's not number 1, but he's up there. He's top 3 and not 3, okay? So we're obsessed. Xaden Ryerson, our MMC, he's I put the city on my back. I come off as this broody and low-key he kind of is, but we're obsessed with him and he's obsessed with her. It is romantasy, it is dragons, it is everything and more. And you guys know, unless you live under a rock and you haven't heard of Fourth Wing, you guys know about the Empyrean series. Yes, Onyx Storm left another hole in my heart. I will be continuing. I was one of those that Iron Flame, it did annoy me, but I still was obsessed. I'm obsessed with the entire series and I'm literally patiently waiting, especially after The Life of a Showgirl. I completely forgot to say this in The Boys of Tommen. Chloe Walsh is adding songs to the next Lizzie and Huey book and I'm obsessed. So from Life of a Showgirl. So I'm very excited for the next book, and also I'm very excited because speaking of Taylor Swift and speaking of, if you guys watched The Last Days of My Life, you saw me reacting to it. Opalite, if you guys have heard that song by Taylor Swift, oh my god, it's so Zayden and Violet coded. And I just cannot wait for Rebecca Yarros to freaking start the next book. I'm like, is it gonna be called Opalite Skies? Like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm so excited. So yes, I will be continuing the series. The next series is the Villain series by Rina Kent. This is the series that Kiss the Villain by Rina Kent is in. That's the only book I've read. It's her new romance series, I believe. And I am so freaking excited. A lot of people, I feel like Book Talk was up in arms about that. I started my Rina Kent journey, I guess literally this year. God of Malice was the first Rina Kent book I ever freaking read. And the Legacy of God series, I'm so obsessed with that. So I finished the Legacy of God series and I was just like, where do we go from here? And Kiss the Villain had just came out and it was an dark romance. It is very, very dark. I know a lot of people hated it, but for me, I didn't know how to feel. And then I was like, okay, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. One thing about me, I'm an enthusiast. I love an romance. Yeah. I'm here for the boys. You know what I mean? Kiss. I love it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I think Gareth and Caden's story was very, very different. And it was similar to the Legacy of Gods, I guess, but like, it was different because they were different characters and I just really enjoyed their story. I love when two people come together and make each other better, and yeah, especially adding a little bit. Just hits different. The tension and the angst in is like mwah. So yes, I will be continuing that series. It is a goal of mine. We'll get to this. I have more Rina Kent on this list in the finished series, but it is a goal of mine to read the Rinaverse. So yes, I will be continuing the series and I really enjoyed it. Next is the Into the Darkness series by Navessa Allen. So the first book in this is Lights Out. It follows our golden retriever Josh and Allie, I want to say, or FMC, and it's basically like a TikTok ghost face book talky guy that ends up stalking this ER nurse who is obsessed with said TikTok sensation ghost face book talk guy. So here's the thing. The next book, I believe it's called Caught Up. I have heard mixed reviews about it, but here's the thing about me. I read Lights Out. I had a good time. But for me, I just feel like it was meant to be comical. It was meant to be. But I wasn't like, after finishing it, I wasn't like, oh my god, like I want to know more about this series. Like I want to read more in this series. So this is a maybe. This is not a no. But Lights Out just didn't like blow my skirt up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was funny and everyone was like, isn't that so funny? Like Josh is so funny. He's very much a golden retriever. He does stalk her. He does break into her house. There are some scenes. There's some spice. It's very good. But for me, whenever my books imitate real life, like I'm on Book Talk, obviously, and I see all the which I'm not on Masked Men Book Talk because for me, that just doesn't do it. I like my men super fictional. Like when you try to cosplay a boyfriend in my book. Now, if I need anybody cosplaying my book boyfriend, I'm gonna call our book husband. Y'all know our book husband. I'm gonna be like, hey baby, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome, we need to do a little role play situation. I just don't, and that's just not my thing. It's never been my thing. I love like the Devil's Night series, all those Masked Men. Delicious, obsessed. But for me, when I was reading Lights Out, I was just kind of like, it's goofy. It's goofy. And it's not that it's bad. It's just, I wasn't like gagged. I wasn't like, yes, I have to read the next book in this series. It just seemed kind of like, eh. It also seemed a little too long for me. So this is not me like on Lights Out. Am I going to continue the series? Maybe. The next series that is unfinished is Quicksilver, the Fae and Alchemy series by Callie, Hart. I said Quicksilver, but it's called Fae and Alchemy. I had to Google this because I'm like, I don't know, it's just Quicksilver. Brimstone is coming out this fall. You guys. It's the way I'm so obsessed with Quicksilver. It's the way I'm so obsessed with Ceres and Kingfisher and Callie Hart in general. Like, I want to say, I don't know if I vlogged it or not. I literally can't remember. I vlog everything for the most part now. I vlog everything I'm reading because I'm like, I need to talk to my besties about it. But if you follow me on Instagram, like, I literally show how many tabs I tapped in that book. I am so freaking obsessed with Kingfisher and Ceres. I am so freaking obsessed with that entire world, the magic system, the creatures. I am literally obsessed. So Quicksilver, it is fantasy, really romantasy, very heavy on the romance aspect, but the world that Callie Hart builds, the enemies to lovers of it all, delicious. The way she wrote Kingfisher, again, just delicious. I would say this is an amazing romantasy with a good plot and a good magic system. So it's Alchemy. I really, really loved that aspect of the book. And yeah, I literally can't wait till Brimstone, and the end of Quicksilver ended on a cliffhanger. So hell yeah, I'll be continuing this series and I'll be waiting. I'm like, Miss Callie, baby, let's go, let's go. But yeah, I'm obsessed. Classic enemies to lovers. But really what I loved most about that book was I love the magic system, I love the world building, and I love the creatures. And I literally cannot wait until the next book, because the way it ended, no spoilers, but the way it ended, I was like, okay, period. I need to know what happens next. The next series is the Kings of Sin series by Ana Huang. I will be continuing this. There were some that I loved, some that I was like, meh. I actually need to make a video of me ranking this entire series, because that would be a fun video. But yes, I will be continuing. These books are interconnected, kind of like friend groups. Like they kind of know each other. It's not like a super tight knit friend group, but like they're interconnected, so you can read them as standalones. I would probably read them in order, but you don't really have to. It's not one of those series where like you have to. It's very similar to the Twisted series by Ana Huang, which I actually finished that entire series, but I will be continuing. I just finished, let's see, what was the last one? King of Envy. I just finished King of Envy and I really, really loved it. It follows like billionaires, and obviously it's modeled off of the 7 deadly sins. So we will have 7 books. I do not know, obviously the next 2 are going to be like the deadly sins. I don't know the 7 deadly sins off my head, but yes, I really, really enjoyed it. Very, very like billionaire tropes, and I love Ana Huang. I love the worlds she builds. I love that in this series, she had other characters from the Twisted series that were like interconnected and mingling. So like if you read the Twisted series before this series, you kind of got those little Easter eggs. I absolutely love that. I love the world that Ana Huang builds, and so far anything she writes, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna read it. So yes, I will be continuing it. Did I love this series as much as the Twisted series? No, I did not. Not because it was like bad, but I loved more books from the Twisted series than I did in the Kings of Sin. Like in the Kings of Sin series, I'm like obsessed with some of the books, and then some of the other books I'm like, I'm bored. Like that's kind of how I felt about it. But will I be reading the next book? Yeah, of course. Of course. You think I'm not gonna? It's just not released yet. Okay? So it will be a yes for me. Absolutely. The next unfinished series is The Vipers. So this is the series that has Beautiful Venom in it by Rina. Yeah. If you guys watch my Beautiful Venom vlog, you already know the answer to that. I'm so freaking excited for, I want to say Preston's book. I'm so freaking ready. You know I love an MM romance. When you read Beautiful Venom, you meet her, I almost said something. You understand who the next characters are going to be that you meet in the first book. So I'm very, very excited. When I saw that Rina Kent was coming out with hockey romance, you guys know I love hockey romances. I am a firm believer that sports romance, specifically hockey romance, is like the recipe to getting out of a book slump. Like if you're in a book slump, a book funk, or you find yourself that like you need something a little like, I don't know, like you just need a little schmut, or you need a little something fun on the side, a hockey romance will do it for me every time. Also, I met Rina Kent this year, met as in I read her books. I met her through her writing. I discovered Rina Kent this year. So once I read the Legacy of God series and Kiss the Villain, I was like, Beautiful Venom. I was sat on release day. If you guys watched that vlog, I was so obsessed and so excited. I'm still so obsessed. I love Kane. We got to meet Kane at the end of Kiss of the Villain. So I was super excited for his book, and I just loved him and Dahlia. I'm pretty sure her name's Dahlia. I loved their book. Very, very hate to love. Very, very enemies to lovers. Basically, Dahlia, her sister's like MIA, and the last people that would like know something about her sister is the hockey team, the Vipers. You just said that. So she's basically trying to figure out what's going on with her sister, and the Vipers she thinks have something to do with it. So she tries to enter this like secret society that the Vipers are a part of, and it's very secret society. It's on a college campus, and it follows the Vipers. It has a little bit of hockey in there, but yeah, it's just really good. It's really good. I was giggling and kicking my feet the entire time, and I will be sat for the next book. Thank you. But I'm really, really excited for Preston's book. But hell yeah, we will be continuing that series. The next series that is unfinished is Split or Swallow. I almost said spit. It's Split or Swallow by Lindsay Straube. So the first book in the series is Kiss of the Basilisk. You guys. If you follow me on Bookstagram or you follow me on here, I have mentioned Kiss of the Basilisk in my wrap-ups, in my Days of My Life vlog, and in my Instagram stories several times. I am so obsessed with Kiss of the Basilisk. That is one of the most spicy books I've ever read, but also the reason I loved it is because it was so different, so unhinged. Yes, it was smutty, but I had a good freaking time. I literally had a good freaking time, and I cannot wait. I think it's called like Between Two Kings is the next book, and I'm so freaking excited. I've been waiting for that book. I believe it comes out this fall, I want to say, and I will be sad. I will be sad. I will be reading it as soon as it drops. Yes, ma'am. I will be downloading that to my Kindle. Thank you, and I will be reading it. It follows our FMC Temperance. She is a chicken farmer. You guys, I've already talked about this so many times, but it's so funny. She refers to herself as a chicken girl, okay? Stop. And she is basically being trained to be doing the nasty, to be good at doing the nasty by a basilisk shifter who they like train these women who are competing for the prince in the kingdom they live in hand in marriage. So a lot of these women, I think it's like on the prince's like 21st or 23rd or something birthday. Don't quote me on that. Okay. I didn't write the book, but I'm obsessed with it. And they're competing for to marry the prince basically. So they're getting trained by these basilisk shifters who are teaching them how to do the nasty. Okay. That's basically what it's about. And yeah, is it just smut? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is there a little bit of a love triangle and like she's trying to win the prince's heart and she's also like got a little thing going on with their basilisk trainer shifter man? Yes. Are we obsessed with both the men? Yes. And then I follow Lindsay Straube on Bookstagram. I think her at's like Oxford Lemon or something, and everything she posts from this new book, Between Two Kings, she enters another man into the plot. So I'm just like, girl, what are we doing? I'm sat for it. Yes, is it unhinged? Yes. Yes, is it smutty? Yes. And am I gonna read the next book? Yeah, of course I am. Like, what do you mean? Is it unhinged? Yeah. Is it for everybody? Probably not. But is it for me? Absolutely. Absolutely. The next series that is unfinished that I'm in the middle of is the Bloodwing Academy series by Briar Boleyn. Hell yeah, I will be continuing this. Hell yeah, I will be continuing this. There are 2 books out, but I will just kind of give you guys a rundown of what the series is about. So you got dragons, you got a half-fae badass FMC who wakes up and she's on top of all these dead bodies, okay? And this vampire man, Hart, Blake, we love him, Blake Jacaro. We love him. He finds her and she finds herself basically betrothed to this high blood vampire man. And she also finds herself enrolled in this academy. And she's like, she doesn't know how she got there. She doesn't know what she's doing there. We low-key still don't know, even at book 2. Like we're following this path of this girl. We're finding out as the FMC does. Love that. Briar Boleyn does an amazing job at keeping you hooked. It is very enemies to lovers. It is actually genuinely true enemies to lovers, I will say, because obviously she doesn't really want to be engaged to Blake. She's been forced into this new world where vampires are the top dogs and anybody that's not, you're a loser. Okay, that's basically how it is. It's got dragons, it's got enemies to lovers, it's got a vampire academy, it's got, you know, different hierarchies in the vampire academy, hence the name Bloodwing Academy. It's so good. The plot is so good. And it's typical like vampire romance. And one thing about me is I love a vampire romance. Okay, yeah. The plot is super romance heavy. Okay, but like the rest of the plot and the world building, I really enjoyed. It is one of those series where like the world building is enjoyable. It's not like you're like, oh my God, I'm bored. It is so good. It is fast paced and I really enjoyed it. The first book, I think I rated like 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it, but the second book, The Bond That Burns, oh my God, it's so good. And without giving anything away, that's pretty much all you need to know, and it's stunning and it's good. If you don't like bully romances, I don't know if you'll like this. I think Briar Boleyn does an amazing job at towing the line of like Zodiac Academy is a long bully romance. And like a lot of people don't get through Zodiac Academy because they don't like bully romances. They're like, why are the guys You do have a little bully romance in here, but the way Briar Boleyn does it is like it feeds into the enemies to lovers. So I think it's an enjoyable series, and I think everybody would like it, and it's really good, especially if you're in like a book slump. It'll get you out of a book slump, in my opinion. Really love it, and hell yeah, I will be waiting for the next book. It doesn't come out till next year. I finished The Bond That Burns. I just didn't know. I wasn't paying attention, and I was just like, girl, what? Like, yeah, I need the next book. So yes, I will be continuing, and I'm sat waiting. Miss Boleyn. The next series that is unfinished that I'm in the middle of is Beneath the Blaze by Miss Luna Mason. You guys guys know how I feel about Luna Mason. You guys know. The first Luna Mason book I read was Inferno. I'm so obsessed with Inferno. It follows these Irish mafia brothers, okay, who they appear as the bad guys, but they're secretly the good guys, okay? They're morally gray, okay? And I'm so obsessed. I've only read the first 2 books. Intense. Is it Intense? Yeah, Intense is Finn's book, so one of the brothers, and it's super, super dark. I'm super, super obsessed with the plot. It's very actiony. Luna Mason keeps us locked in the whole entire time. I am so obsessed with her writing. I'm so obsessed with her characters. If you want something a little schmutty, but it's also entertaining, like the plot is very fast-paced in all of the books that I've literally only read 2. The only reason I haven't read the 3rd book is because I'm in the middle of my fall TBR, and I'm trying to be a TBR reader and not a mood reader right now, so yes, I will be reading that book whenever I get the chance. I'm like, there's so many books, not enough time. But yes, I'm so obsessed with that series, Beneath the Blaze, and yeah, I'll be continuing. I'm so obsessed. I love it. The next unfinished series is Men of the Evercrisp Orchard by Abby Millsaps. This was my first ARC read. You guys know. If you watch my vlogs, I've mentioned it before. Almost Ravaged was the first book, and we ended on a cliffhanger. I was like, Miss Millsaps, hello, what happened? So it is a Why Choose, it is a hockey romance, it is a brother's best friend, and also Miss Millsaps, in the beginning of Almost Ravaged, she really had me. She really had me because it was like trauma bonded things happen to these 3 characters that we meet in the beginning of the book, and so I was locked in there, okay? And it was my first ARC read, and I was locked in for sure. And I'm not like a Why Choose girly, but I don't mind to dabble in Why Choose from time to time. So I was really excited about this one. It has a fall setting. It's a Why Choose, obviously. So you got brother's best friend, and you've got a professor, and you've got an angry, broody, not angry, but a broody orchard owner. So yeah, this is for the girls, a little reverse age gap situation. Like, I'm very obsessed, and the way book 1 left off is, you know how Why Choose, like, you got to build those connections with all of the characters. It's a lot more characters to build connections with. It leaves off on a cliffhanger because one of the men did some things. So if you want something that's like in a fall setting, you've got a professor trope, you got an older man who's damaged trope, and you got a brother's best friend who's jealous and he plays hockey. Yeah, it's for you. It's for you. There was a scene in there in a cornfield. I said, oh, right. This is definitely an ovulation book, and I'm not complaining, and I'm obsessed. Will I be sad for the next book? Yes. Will I be continuing it? Yes. Am I ready for it? Yes. The next series is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. Listen, you guys. Listen. You already know the answer to this. You already know the answer. This is an unfinished series. The new book just came out. Have I read it yet? No. I'm still in the middle of Blood and Ash. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I have not finished this series yet is because I'm dragging through Born of Blood and Ash right now. So I don't know when you will see this video, but hopefully I'll be done. I am obsessed with From Blood and Ash, that series. I just think that it's such a long series, and I've obviously been keeping up with all of the books when they release, and so the new one finally got released. I think I prefer From Blood and Ash more than Flesh and Fire. I'm in the middle of reading the last Flesh and Fire book right now so that I can go into From Blood and Ash. But yes, absolutely. And anything Jennifer Armentrout puts out, I'm gonna read. Whether I like it or not, I just love the From Blood and Ash series. And once I start a series that like actually has my attention, yeah, I have to finish it. Like, I have to see it through. So yes, I will be continuing the series. It is a very long series. I know there's mixed reviews. Some people either love it and some people hate it. I love it. I will say there are times where like I can hit a lull in the series, but regardless, I will be finishing the series, and I think it's an amazing series. It is a vampire romance, but there's so much more to it, and I'm just obsessed with the world building. I'm obsessed with the characters, and I will always finish the series. I don't know how long the series is gonna be. Like I said, I haven't got there, but yes, I will be finishing the series. And if you like romantasy, and if you're new to the fantasy genre and romantasy really in general, I would highly recommend this because I feel like Jennifer Armentrout does a great job at explaining, sometimes over-explaining. As someone who reads a lot of fantasy and romantasy in different books, sometimes the explanation gets on my nerves low-key sometimes, but I appreciate it because you're never left wondering what her reasoning is for certain things. She always goes out of her way to explain the situation to you. So I appreciate that. Even though sometimes when I'm reading, I'm like, okay, I'm excited about the plot. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to find out what happens. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. But yes, I do recommend. I recommend that series. And yes, I will be continuing it. Okay, besties. I was gonna make this 2 parts and I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep on going. Okay, so those are all of the series that I'm in the middle of.
Besties, so here's the thing. You know how I said there were 15 series that I was in the middle of? I realized that I forgot 2 series. So the 2 series I'm in the middle of are Magnolia Parks. That is an unfinished series. It's like Magnolia Parks, but there's Daisy Hates in it, but it's Magnolia Parks, basically. Yes, I will be continuing that series. And then the other series I forgot that was unfinished was the Jacksonville Race series by Emily Rath. So those 2 series are Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, yes, and the Jacksonville Race series by Emily Rath. Also, yes.
But really, I'm just like waiting on the next book. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a few that I'm like behind one book, but I'm like up there. I'm up there. So those don't even count, okay? So whenever I say my red flag is, I always start series and I never finish them. I have lots of red flags, by the way. Red's my favorite color. It's not really my favorite color, but I don't have a problem with red flags, okay? What's red to you is green to me, right? Right. Anyway. What I was saying is that you guys know you have to stay on me. You have to stay on my squirrel little brain. There are squirrels running around up there, okay? Anyway, so I have 12 finished. Like, to my knowledge, these are finished. If I am wrong, comment down below and be like, hey, you're wrong. And I'll be like, okay, period. A lot of these are Kindle Unlimited midnight thingies. So I'm gonna do my best. These will probably be a little more rapid fire, but these are series that are finished to my knowledge that I'm gonna be telling you if I will be continuing them or not. Okay, here we go. The first one is Playing for Keeps by Becca Mack. So the only book I've read in this series is Consider Me. I know a lot of people love this series. First of all, I saw the cover in Target. I said, she's gorgeous. Took a little picture. Late at night, I was like, hockey romance. I need to get out of a slump. I don't remember when I read this. I want to say it was this year. But I hated the MMC. When I say hated, I heavy on the hate. Capital H hated this MMC. However, I have a lot of book friends, a lot of book besties that are like, Laurin, you will love the rest of the series. The series is so good. It's so cute. It's so wholesome. It's a da 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 da. I got a lot of hockey romances and series and sports romances in general that I literally love. So for me, with hockey romances, if I don't love, or at least like the first book, I did put on my list, I put maybe because everyone is so obsessed with the series, but let me just tell you why I did not like this book. Number 1, the FMC got on my nerves. Number 2, they mentioned crispy bacon on their pizza. I couldn't even tell you what the main plot is of the story because I was so irritated because I threw it out of my brain. I was like, oh, is that file up there? Let's throw it away. I could not stand how they mentioned bacon. Their like bonding was over like bacon and Oreos, okay? And then let me get to why I did not like the MMC. And also she was very pick me. She was giving pick me. I was like, did he pick you? Obviously he picked you. Like, you know what I mean? I was over it, and it was supposed to be like a bad boy meets good girl type of vibe to my like memory, and my memory is not great with things I don't like. If I don't like something, I don't really remember it. I'll remember why I don't like it, but I'm like, oh, that was useless. Get that away from me. But I did remember why I didn't like it, okay? And why I didn't like it. The MMC could not stand him. He referred to his as his sword of thunder. Wrap it up. You're done. I'm all for like a funny, full of himself MMC, like literally Seth Capella, Zodiac Academy. He cracks my up. Leon Knight, The Ruthless Boys, cracks me up. Full of themselves and funny. This was not that. This was first of all, those are fantasy. I just mentioned 2 series that are fantasy. It's not real life, so they can be that way. You play hockey. You could have said anything. You could have picked anything. Sword of Thunder disgusted me, and he got on my nerves, and the amount of times they talked about bacon and Oreos, was I probably in a b***y mood when I read this? Probably. But am I gonna finish this series? I said maybe on my notes, but I'm gonna go with maybe not. Probably not. Okay. That's it. Nothing against Becca Mack, but I just didn't like the characters. And honestly, the whole story, like there was a sweet old man in there and I actually loved him. But besides that, like, no, I couldn't. And so therefore, that's why I didn't continue the series, because I was like, I literally hate this man and this girl is getting on my nerves. And if they mention bacon or Oreos one more time, I'm going to like blow a gasket. Okay, the next series, Hawkeye's Hockey by Kenna King. I only read 1 book from the series, and you guys, this is awful. This is a Kindle Unlimited nighttime scrolly. I remember because I want to say I was in my luteal phase and I was kind of pissy and I just needed something really easy. So it's number 5. It's number 5 in the series, which is called Dirty Score. I really, really liked it. This is really my review. I'll read it. A hockey romance romance just feels like a warm hug sometimes. Enemies to lovers, secret pen pals, he fell first. Yeah, I'm giggling and kicking my feet. 3.5 out of 5. So this is one of those things that like I was scrolling Kindle Unlimited, and you know how like interconnected series are, but they can be read as standalones? That's basically what this is to me, because I started this book and I hadn't read any of the other series. I just read book 5, and it was like a secret pen pal, secret identity situation. It was cute. My review even says that. But will I be continuing the series? No. Because again, you know when you're reading a series and you might read it out of order and you're like, oh, I don't know the rest of these people, but like nothing really grabs you to find out anything about those people? Probably not. Probably not, just because again, like I said, nothing grabbed my attention. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was just a cute little happy da-da-da-da-da, but and I needed something to lift my spirits, and that's what it did. But I literally don't even remember the main characters' names. I just remember that it was cute, and I do remember the pen pal thing. She was like mad at him for hiding his identity, and I'm like, girl, get over it. But also it's cute. You know what I mean? But still, again, you didn't stick out to me.
Next, Kendall. You didn't stick out to me.
You know what I mean? So I probably won't be continuing the series, but because it's in my Goodreads, I remember it. And if I ever wanted to go continue it, maybe. But if I'm being honest with y'all, no, I'm not going to continue it. The next series is Kings of Denver by Sheridan Ann. And I actually had to look this one up on my Goodreads. I will not be continuing the series. It's bad boy, good girl. I didn't even write a review on Goodreads, and I remember why. Because there was like no plot. Like, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was probably ovulating. Again, this is like a hockey series graveyard, okay? I'm picky. So if I say a sports romance is good, you better believe me, because I'm picky. I will not be continuing the series because I feel like when I was reading this book, I was so tired of it by the end that I didn't even write a review, and it's coming back to me because this is in February. Also, I'm new to sports romance, okay? Bestie Kaylie, she does my nails, I talk about her all the time. She got me onto sports romance. My first sports romance was Pucking Around because she just told me to start to pick hockey or something, and I just picked Pucking Around. I'm new to it, but I'm also picky. Sports romance is not my like #1 favorite genre. Like obviously it would have to be fantasy, but and then dark romance and all these others. So like I'm trying to like have more genres that I'm reading about, but I'm picky when it comes to sports romance. Like I'm not just gonna read any sports romance and read a whole series of it. I have to love. So that's why we have a hockey graveyard going on. But yeah, no. Kings of Denver, I read Not Your Pucking Girl. And it wasn't giving much. And honestly, there was like no plot. And obviously I know I'm not trying to like dog sports romance. I love sports romance. Okay, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I actually need to make like an entire video on sports romance because I have like, I'm looking at them and I'm like, I have a lot. But anyway, I just really you didn't stick out to me. Again, and also the plot was like redundant. It was I feel like sometimes with good girl, bad boy, you have to have like a good plot going on, even though the plot is basically the romance. But for me, I was just like, nah, you know what I mean? And by the time I got to the end of the book, I do remember being tired. Like, baby, I was tired. I was so tired I didn't even write a review. Okay? I rated it 3 stars. So 3 stars for me. Like, I'm not going to rate it 2 stars. Like, if I hate something, I'll rate it 2 stars. Like, I don't know what I rated Consider Me, but I probably should have rated that 2 stars because I freaking hated it. This, I didn't hate it. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just, it was okay. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. I will not be continuing it because like I said, the one book I'm reading of the series, this was the first book, doesn't grab me. I'm not continuing it. No. The next series that is finished is the Royal Elite series by Rina Kent. Listen, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the beginning of the Rinaverse. I did read the first book. It's like Cruel King, and I enjoyed it. The only reason I haven't continued this series, it is on my like bucket list. I'll probably read it in like January, like after my holiday reads, because you know, like the holidays, you gotta read with the seasons and you gotta mood read. So I'm going to finish the Rinaverse. Mark my words. I'm obsessed with Rina Kent. Anything she writes, I'm picking it up. Yeah, but this is the very beginning and they're in high school. So when I read the first book, I like had finished Legacy of Gods and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start the entire Rinaverse. I'm obsessed with Rina. And honestly, I'm gonna read the entire Rinaverse, like I said, but I'm probably gonna read it out of order because if I would have started with the Rinaverse, and I know that Legacy of Gods is literally Legacy of Gods, like their parents, it's about basically the Legacy of Gods parents or some of their parents. I think like the Royal Elite people. I probably wouldn't have continued the Rinaverse because it's just slower pace. It is set in high school and I started up here. Okay, I started with the Legacy of Gods and I was like, hell yeah. And then I started to try to read the Royal Elite and I was just like, they're in high school though. You know what I mean? And like, what can you do in high school? How much of a mafia boss can you be if you're in high school? not much. But I do think I'm going to read the Monster Trilogy because that is part of the Rinaverse, and basically I'm going to read all Rina Kent's books one day. It's a goal of mine. But yeah, I do want to finish the Royal Elite series because, like, I just want to be in the mood for it. And I wasn't really in the mood for, like, a high school vibe, if that makes sense. But yes, I did enjoy it, and I will be continuing it, but I'm more excited for, like, the Monster Trilogy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm more excited for that. And anything set in high school is kind of like, it just depends for me. Like, the Devil's Night series is in high school and in, like, the future. Boys of Tommen, it's like, that doesn't even freaking count because it's like, it's Boys of Tommen. So I'm just very picky about that. And like I said, I'm not in the mood to read it. So when I'm in the mood, yes, it's literally on my Kindle. Like, the next book is on my Kindle, sitting there staring at me, haunting me. Yes. So yes, I will be reading it. And yes, I will be continuing the series. Next is Hades and Persephone. I think that's what the series is called, by Scarlett St. Clair. Okay, I read, let me see, A Touch of Darkness. It's staring at me right now. This one's a maybe. This one's a maybe. Okay, here's the thing. I love a Greek mythology retelling. I was homeschooled through elementary school, and my mom taught very heavily on ancient history. She taught me and my brother when I went into public school and middle school. I was like nerding out with Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology. I love retellings. However, that was a mood read, okay? That was a mood read. And the reason I'm saying maybe if I'm going to continue the series is because the way book one ended, here's the thing about me. If it's easy, I don't want it. Not that that series was easy, but it ended and they gave me what I personally wanted in the ending, okay? So in my brain, I was like, oh, I already have what I want. The conclusion for me, not really the series, like I can see how she's going to continue to ride on, but I was like, oh, okay, that's what I wanted. And then my brain, because it's ADHD, you guys know, low dopamine, when it gets its dopamine, it's like, oh, you already gave me my dopamine. I'm good. You know what I mean? That was kind of where my brain was. So it's not that like I wasn't gonna continue it. I was like, there's nothing pushing me. Like something else grabbed my attention. Because like I said, I'm a squirrel brain and I love mood reading. And honestly, if I'm not having a ton of fun, I'm probably not gonna continue with reading something, if that makes sense. And yes, I know that's a problem. I see my friend Jen on Bookstagram, she's flying through them. I think she finished the series. But for me, I'm just like, I don't wanna. Like, I wanna read other stuff. And maybe like one day, like if I'm literally like in a, I don't know what to read, I might pick it up. So it's a maybe. It's just, like I said, whenever I get what I want at the end of a book, why would I keep reading? And that is just, again, that's my red flag. That's my red flag. She gave me what I wanted too soon. You know, I just wasn't hooked to start the next one. So that's a maybe. The next series is Him by Serena Bowen. Listen, tell me why. I'm literally looking at it on my shelf right now. I forgot about this series. It is an MM. It is a friends to lovers. It is a like sexual awakening situation. And oh my God, it's so cute. But again, this is another example. Yes, I will be continuing to get that answer out. Yes, I will be continuing, but this is another example of I got what I wanted. And so I was like, what's the point in reading the next book? However, I loved that book so much that yes, I need to pick it up. And I need to pick it up when I'm like really sad. And I need something very cute and fluffy because I have a feeling that the next book, the way book one ended, I have a feeling that the next book is going to be like, you know what I mean? Cute, just as cute. So yes, I will be continuing it. It's an MM romance. It's a hockey romance. It is a childhood friends to lovers. You guys need to read it. If you haven't read an MM romance and you want to dip your toe in and you just want to see what the vibe is about without like, because I feel like a lot of MM romances are a lot of enemies to lovers. It's a lot of angsty because it's just, I don't know, something about the angst in the MM is just like, it's delicious. This is like a cute, fluffy MM romance. So if you want to start with MM romance and you like hockey romances and you want to dip your toe in, start with Him by Serena Bowen. It's so freaking cute. And I think Ella Kennedy writes it with her. Yep, she does. It's super, super cute. And yes, I will continue the series. I just, like I said, I got what I wanted and I was like, oh, I don't want to read that right now. I'm out of my cutie phase. I want something dark. Because if you guys know me, I'm a dark person. I love dark stuff. I love dark books. But yes, I will be continuing the series. Just, I forgot about it, low key. So I'm so glad I'm doing this video. See? I forgot about it. Like I told you guys when I was making this list, I was like, I forgot about you. But yes, I will be continuing the series. The next series is Crimson Ridge by Elliot Rose. This is on my finished. I don't really know if this is finished. So again, quote me if I'm wrong, but here's the thing. So I read Chasing the Wild, which if you guys know, if you watch any of my reading wrap-ups or any of my vlogs, I talk about this. This is the closest birthday girl dupe I could find. I wasn't even looking for it. I was just like, ex-boyfriend's dad and he's a cowboy? Hey, yeah, I'm sad. Ex-boyfriend's dad trope and he's a cowboy and he's broody. If you guys know me, Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas is one of my like favorite books ever. I've been chasing for a Birthday Girl dupe. That is the closest that I have found is Chasing the Wild. However, my bestie Kaylie, she reads like a machine. So there's an cowboy romance in that series that came out, and she read it and she was like, eh. And honestly, me and bestie Kaylie have similar tastes. And the next book, the second book after the ex-boyfriend's dad trope, is like a step-uncle trope. And like, I know, like I'm with taboo romances, it's not that it's like my least favorite, because it's not. Like just like Why Choose is not my least favorite, but it's not my top. You know what I'm saying? Enemies to Lovers is my top. Ex-boyfriend's dad is the top. Well, sometimes. It just depends. Romantasy is top. You know what I mean? Like, Damaged Boy is top. Bad Boy. Like, I like things that we like what we like. It's not that I'm against like my step uncle, like, oh, the taboo doesn't freak me out about that. The way she just explained it, she was like, I don't think you would like it. And one thing about me, I listen to my besties. You guys know me. Okay? You guys know me. And sometimes we don't know our besties as much. And sometimes like, maybe I would like it, but I'm just not rushing to try it based on honestly reading what the book was about. I was like, eh. And honestly, it's like a taboo series. I do kind of want to read the so I might read part of that series, but I will not be reading it chronologically. You know what I mean? I might read the Cowboys, but other than that, and they're stepbrothers. Yeah. So it's very, very taboo. I loved Chasing the Wild, but I'm not really in a rush. So this one's a maybe. I'm most likely gonna say probably. The next series is FBI Profiler by Lisa Gardner. Listen, this was my book club book. I want to say it was my summer ween book club that I vlogged. I showed you guys we had a summer ween book club. Our book club book, it was like could be read as a standalone, but it was part of a series. No, I will not be continuing. I did not like it. I'm trying to enter my thriller era. A couple of my besties have commented on my YouTube videos and told me what thrillers to start with, so I do have those on my TBR. I do want to dip my toe in thrillers. Every time I've read a thriller, I haven't liked it. I want to like it. Maybe if we tie it in with romance. Like I don't like being super scared, but I'm just not like obsessed with thrillers. Like I love when I'm reading a romantasy or like a dark romance and like there's action. Like I don't mind suspense. I don't mind like my palms are sweating, my is sweating. You know what I mean? Like I love that. But something about thrillers, it just seems predictable to me every time I read it. And this one was like a Michael Myers, which you would think that I would like that, but I just didn't. Like I just wasn't in, and like there were things in the book that cringed me out. If you want to know more about that, which I don't know why you'd want to know more about me complaining, you can go watch my wrap up. I believe it was for June, my June wrap up. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it was for June, and I just didn't like it. So no, I will not be continuing it. Next is the DC Star series by Chelsea Curto. Listen, this one's my fault. This one's my bad. You guys know I am so obsessed with the DC Star series. There are 4 books in the DC Star series. I believe Face Off, loved. Love. Slapshot or Trick Play or something. I don't know what they're called. I've read 3 books. I've read 3 out of the 4 books. And the last one I need to read is Lexi's book. And oh my God, it's so good. The only reason I haven't finished it is because I started the Windy City series. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm a mood reader and I'm psycho. And the only reason I didn't read Lexi's book is I found out there's a sad twist to it and I didn't want to be sad in that moment. That's the only reason. And I'm not going to give anything away because they can be read as standalones, but you guys need to read the DC Star series. So far, none of them have had third act breakups, which I really love. They're just green flags across the board. But just because they're green flags doesn't mean there's not spiciness and tension and stuff like that, because there definitely is. And I love it. And I talked about the series. And in my wrap-ups, I'm like literally obsessed. But yes, I am going to go back and read Lexi's book. I just know there's like a sad thing that happens to one of the characters. And I got attached to those characters. And without giving anything away, it's a sports romance. It's good. It's green flags. And honestly, there's golden retrievers in that series. And I love them. So see, I just got done complaining I'm not a golden retriever girl, but I literally love all of them in that series. And I can't wait. But I found out something sad happens and I was like, I'm not in the mood to be sad. So that's the only reason I haven't read it. Am I going to read it? Yes. I am literally, that is like a sports god tier series for me. Not like god tier all across the board, but if I'm going to recommend a sports romance, they're in their different league, that is one of my top sports romances. So Yes, I will be continuing. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Yes. Okay, and these last 2 series are on my fall TBR. So the first one is Harry Potter. Yes, I will be continuing the Harry Potter series. After reading Alchemized and not knowing all of the manacled tea, I have to read Harry Potter first. I did not grow up on Harry Potter. I love the movies. That's actually the first Harry Potter interaction that I like had, was literally watching the movies with my husband in 2020, because it was like COVID and everything was locked down and we were bored, and I had seen Lord of the Rings, I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, I've seen Star Wars, like I grew up on all those, but my parents didn't really let me watch like magic stuff. And it's funny now, they're divorced now. I'm a child of divorce. But back then, when I was a kid and everybody was reading the books and watching the movies, I just wasn't allowed to. So it's kind of one of those things. And my husband, he wasn't not allowed to. He just wasn't into that kind of stuff. We just watched them and we became literally obsessed. Also, we love Universal Studios and we love just the Harry Potter universe. So I feel like I can't really call myself a Harry Potter fan if I haven't read the books. And I have read 1 through 3. And then if you guys watch my fall TBR video, you know I'm rereading them. And then I'm gonna watch the movies, because now I have another reason to finish, because I literally finished Alchemized and it was based on Manacled. I have a whole video. I have multiple videos on Alchemized. I'm not even gonna freaking talk about Alchemized in this video. Oh my god, it's one of my Roman empires. But anyway, now I'm super, super excited to like finish the Harry Potter series even more. So I am finishing that and I'm currently reading that. Okay, the last series is the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. Yes, I will be finishing that. Yes, I am currently reading that. It is completely finished and ready for me. It is on my fall TBR and I am filming the full spoiler-ridden vlog, which I guess some of it, if you don't know the context, you'd still be able to watch it. So you guys can definitely watch it if you haven't read them. But the series has been out for forever. It is my best friend's favorite series, well, one of her favorite series. So I'm reading it really for her. And also I've heard it's an amazing series. So I am currently reading that. And yes, I am continuing. I'm just in the middle of it. Okay.
It's me again. I did forget one series. It is Leighton You by C. Ritchie. And I read that series. I read the first 2 books in the series and it was so freaking good. And yes, I will be continuing that. So I wanted to add that in there because I was like, I only have 11 books and I said 12. So that is the last one. And I'm so obsessed with that series. It's romance and it's so good and you guys need to read it. Okay, bye.
That concludes the video. We had, how many do we have? 27. So almost 30 series that I'm in the middle of, but you guys saw, there were some that I'm going to continue, some were a maybe, some I genuinely forgot because I'm such a mood reader, and some I'm literally in the middle of, okay? But I just wanted to remind you guys, because I feel like I have to remind myself, I get so much anxiety and I feel like before I started reading as an adult again, 2023, it's been like 2 full years, I used to read like a TBR reader, and there is nothing wrong with being a TBR reader. Matter of fact, I wish I was a TBR reader, but my nature, I have ADHD. If you didn't know, I mention it all the time to kind of explain why I'm just chaotic. My brain does not work like number 1, number 2, number 3. My brain is like blah, 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 blah. That's just the way it is. And for the longest, I would beat myself up because I like wanted to force myself to fit in a mold so bad and do things a certain way. Also, I do think I have undiagnosed OCD, I swear, because I have very obsessive compulsive thoughts. And for the longest, I feel like we're all like this. I talk about this in my mental health video. We're very, very hard on ourselves. And for me personally, at least my experience, when I'm reading, it's easier for me to give characters grace. And this is the exact thing I said in my mental health video, but I'm always dogging on myself. Used to. I don't do it anymore. It's bad. Don't be mean to yourself. Be nice to yourself, because you need to love yourself and you need to cut yourself some slack, girl, okay? But I used to, when I started reading again as an adult, like I found ACOTAR, and it sounds like I said I found Jesus, but like I found ACOTAR, literally I just started reading it. Everybody that knew me, like I put it on my Snapchat and everyone was like, read this book. And literally I was like, fine, I'll read it. And then I fell in love with reading again. And then after that, I went through the whole Massiverse, but I wanted to do it so perfectly, and like the way I annotated was different. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think I just want to remind you, and I want to remind myself, that there's nothing wrong with reading based on your mood. You don't have to finish a series, so don't put pressure on yourself. At myself, me literally talking to myself. But seriously, like, don't put pressure on yourself to finish a series if you don't like it. And honestly, if it's time for you to read that series, it's time for you. Like, the Devil's Night series is one of my favorite freaking series, but I didn't read that all at the same time. I think I read Corrupt, and I was like, It's okay. And Corrupt is still not my least favorite. But anyway, I need to do a ranking of that. But Corrupt is just not high on my list. So I took a little break and then I went back to it. And literally Kill Switch I finished this year. And Kill Switch is my favorite book of and Nightfall. Kill Switch is my favorite book of the entire series. So I'm also a firm believer of the books that you're meant to read are meant to find you at a certain time. So don't put your pressure on yourself. And I'm done yapping about that because that was a very long yap. But I just wanted to tell you guys that because I joke and I'm like, one thing about me, I'm always reading a series. One thing about me, I'm always, not finishing a series. But to be honest, is like reading is supposed to be fun. So just remind yourself that. Obviously, if it's your job and you're reading, series in order and you're a book reviewer, that's like the dream. Let's be real. You need to finish things. But don't force it. That's just my point I'm trying to make. And honestly, I'm proud of myself because when I first started reading, like as an adult, I wanted to like complete everything and read at a certain time and whatever. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I was an organized reader. I'm just not. And that's something I found out about myself through reading. And I wouldn't have even found that out about myself. And not only do I feel that way about books, but I feel that way about life. Like I used to be such a perfectionist and a people pleaser and I wanted everything to be done a certain way. And like, I feel like reading what I want to read has also taught me on a deeper level that sometimes it's not that serious and sometimes it's not the end of the world if you don't do things in the perfect order. And I wish I could tell my younger self that because she used to be hard as hell on herself. And now as an adult, maybe I'm a little too gentle with myself. Maybe now I'm like, baby girl, whatever you want. But it's like, seriously, just remember that it's okay if you're not reading a certain amount of books. It's okay if you're not finishing a series. It's okay if you're not reading at a certain speed. Just have fun. Because again, isn't that what reading is about? Having fun. We're just having fun. We're hallucinating words on paper and we're just having fun. So that is your reminder. Read what you want, read when you want, and read however much you want. And if you don't finish a series, look at me. I'm in the middle of 27 series for different reasons and it's okay. It's okay. That wraps up this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so, 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 so much and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.